So I made a courageous decision not to sit for the July bar. And I say courageous because I'm choosing to follow my heart and keep moving in this direction of policy work, even though it hasn't fully unfolded for me. I know that I am intended to be using my voice to influence those who have power, to help others walk in my shoes, and also to help lessen those degrees of separation between us all. So I thank you for your continued support of me on my journey and for your support of Florence Crittendon. Thank you.
Katie and Valencia have walked in shoes that are much more uncomfortable than anything I ever had to walk in. I'm sure that some of you, like me, never doubted that we would have food on the table and a safe, secure place to live and an opportunity for a good education and a good job to follow that. But that's not the case for everybody, and it's not the case for most of the women in the Florence Crittendon Services program. The dictionary definition of compassion is a feeling of deep sympathy for the misfortune of another, accompanied by a strong desire to help. Compassion is what brings all of us here to this luncheon each year. It's that recognition of misfortune and the desire to help. That help is what Florence Crittendon Services does. Katie is proof of that. Valencia is proof of that. That's what we do. We change lives. But it's not cheap or easy to do that. It's not fully funded by the state or United Way, all of the other funding sources that we cobble together to make this work. It takes extra money from good people like you, like all of us. I mentioned misfortune. The agency had its own misfortune this past week. We found out that 2 of our 3 air conditioning chillers are dead. I mentioned this to my wife, and she said, being pregnant in Charlotte in the summer without air conditioning is an unacceptable punishment. You people need to get this fixed. But you know, nobody told us last year when we were writing the budget that we'd need $25,000 extra for 2 dead chillers. We're going to have to find that somewhere, and we need your help to do that. If you were at this luncheon last year, you would remember that we were working toward meeting a $40,000 challenge grant for raising new money from the Leon Levine Foundation. And I asked you to help me get Larry Polsky's money. Not only did you give us the $40,000 we needed, but through that challenge, we quadrupled the $40,000 we needed to raise. We raised $161 and change to get their $40,000. When you succeed, they gave us a $50,000 challenge this year. New money means a contribution from a new donor, an increase in contribution from a present donor, or bringing a lapsed donor back into the fold. So if you fit one of those 3 categories, Larry's going to match your money dollar for dollar today, and we love you for that. Thank you, Larry. Personal story. When I was in high school, I noticed that my father was a very active volunteer with United Way and the Red Cross. And I asked him one day, why do you volunteer? He had a full-time job at Sears. Why do you volunteer? And what he said to me, his answer was a very short paraphrase from a Bible verse, from the Gospel of Luke. He said, to whom much is given, much is expected. As I've grown older, I've realized that phrase is not just about money. It's about bringing whatever talents we have and sharing those with others and giving back. I can't tell Katie's story. I don't have that credibility for her. I don't have her passion, her drive, her advocacy for these issues. But I can write a check. I've not walked in shoes as uncomfortable as Valencia's. What I can do is make a pledge to make sure that Florence Crittendon is there to help young women like Valencia I didn't dedicate an entire career to changing lives and improving people's lives the way Marilyn Thompson did. But what I can do is bring all of those stories to you and ask for your help. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to ask for your help. There are cards and pens on the table, pledge cards. Many of you might still carry old-fashioned checkbooks. I do. What I'm asking you to do is to take the cards and the pens or your checkbook and be generous. Remember my dad's answer as you decide what you'd like to give. The issue here is that to those whom much is given, much is expected. If we each give according to our means, Florence Crittendon will have the resources we need to buy 2 chillers and to provide this helping hand for young women who need it.